Well, seeing is not always believing. At least that is the case on National Geographic Channel's new series called Brain Games. Each week, the show will trick, sharpen, and boggle your mind using an intricate string of con games, optical illusions, brain teasers, and hard science. Take a look.
You'll notice there are two blinking dots. Question: are the dots alternating, or are they blinking together at the exact same time? Do you have your answer? If you said they're alternating, you're like most people. And like most people, you're wrong. Surprise! They're actually blinking together.
Jason Silva is the host. We're not going to do well with this. Jason Silva is the host of Brain Games. Apollo Robbins is a deception specialist, also known as the Gentleman Thief. Guys, good morning to both of you.
How you doing?
Good to see you. I was on a treadmill the other day. It's like a baseball game here. I was on a treadmill the other day. I started to see the promos for this, and I got sucked in. I really did, because you find yourself believing one thing when something else is true.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the show is really, what you see is not always what you get. I mean, it's a pop science series that's making brain science accessible. The idea is to mainstreamify brain science. I mean, on the one hand, the brain is the most complicated object in the universe. On the other hand, it has these built-in limitations, has these built-in shortcomings. And these brain scientists create these interactive experiments so that people at home can kind of play along.
So can you trick it by bypassing the obvious?
Pretty much. I mean, the whole idea is
we're taking advantage of the obvious.
Yeah.
Right. In other words, once you ask the question with the dots, we kind of guess, okay, they are in sync.
Yeah, there's a lot of experiments like that. I mean, for example, we all think we live in a world that we experience as three-dimensional, but we actually take in low-resolution 2D images through our eyes, and then our brain kind of fills it in and creates a 3D reality. So we receive incomplete information, and our brain fills it in, and he exploits that brilliantly.
Boy, does he exploit it! Let's kind of give us a warm-up, all right?
Yeah.
You have a riddle, okay? He's one of the smartest guys I've ever met. So why don't you start with the riddle on Bryant?
Go ahead.
Yeah, well, this is kind of a cool one that shows you how your brain kind of wants to fill patterns. It wants to complete patterns. So
I'll let you do this.
No, it's pretty easy. So the question is, Mary's mother had 4 daughters: April, May, June, and
July.
Wrong. Because what happens is your brain is so quick to complete the pattern, April, May, June, obviously you want to think July. But the question actually is, Mary's mother had 4 daughters: April, May, June, and Mary. Now, it sounds simple, but it just exploits the fact that your brain is quick to create a conclusion without actually
don't be a smartass.
Oh, don't be so fast. I mean, no, he thinks quickly, all right? Yeah. Now, Apollo, you've got some things. What do we call these? Tricks or these illusions? What are these?
They're both. Well, they trick the mind because they take advantage of shortcuts. Like that one, your brain took a shortcut. Sometimes you can take advantage of that by jumping ahead, or sometimes you want to stop you from doing a shortcut. So in this case, the old shell game, which is a hustle, takes advantage of a biologically deceptive motion. So if you're watching here, place this as a bet. So imagine this is a $100 chip, and you're just watching the shell game. If you're watching that at home, you can see where the shells are, you can see where the P is, but when you do this very slowly, you can see, when I move it, almost where the P goes. Yet if you were to take a guess, it's not where you think it would be.
I'll do this one more time. All right, one more time.
One more time. And this time we'll have you place a bet.
We'll be a team here. We'll see.
Don't watch the shells. Watch the space between the shells. So watch right here, and you can almost see when it happens. So if you see it go across, now if you're watching it,
I'm done.
Where would you say it is?
Wait.
Put the chip in front of it.
Is that what you're saying?
So it's 50-50.
Brian
saw
says
this, but you became overconfident, and that motion is what drew you in when actually it's over here.
Because you told us to look at that space.
Well, actually, I didn't tell you. You watched the P go in between, so you assumed that was where it was going to be, is underneath one of those because you saw it. Well,
so you understand how the brain works and you exploit it?
Yeah.
All right. You've got another one for us.
Sure.
Okay. This is called Follow the Ace.
Yes, you can use that with cards or things like that. Would you mind coming around this side for me so you can see a little bit better? Get a little bit closer. You had your wallet in your back left pocket, is that what?
I don't own a wallet, but yes.
Well, it was a rubber band with cash. I'll get you a wallet. I'm the guy to do that. I can afford it for you. I found a couple backstage. If you're watching something like the cards, now card tricks, traditionally when magicians do them, they take advantage of following a card. So push one of those out. You can do it with an ace or anything. Okay. So in this case, instead of it being a card trick, think about just tracking that card. So you put a 4 here. You're watching where that is, and we did that on camera so you can see. You can see it's about here. Now, right now, your brain starts to make an assumption. Yet somehow that assumption is wrong, and the 4 is over here. Watch it a little bit closer. Now, watch your space. Now, for this one, you're going to want to pan back so you can see your face as well. Come in a little bit closer so you can see over my shoulder, see what I see. You can see where the 4 goes, but use your right hand for me. Are you right-handed? Okay. Is this the card on top? Or is it on the back? It's not on the back of that one. Is it this one right here? See, as Jason was mentioning, your resolution. It's amazing when you see these cameras, you kind of get the answer, don't you, there, Brian? Yeah,
it's kind of like liar's poker. But
Well, no, the secret's Velcro. That's how.
Wow.
But again, this series on National Geographic, the idea here is you're gonna wow people with these stunts and illusions. But if they pay attention, they're going to learn something about how their brain operates.
Absolutely. Yes. I mean, we call it lean-in programming. So we design these experiments so that the star of the show is really your brain at home. Yeah. You play along. You lean into the screen.
So it's truly an interactive show.
Absolutely. You participate in the experiments. You have that visceral appreciation of the wow, and then you're like, how does that happen? So then it becomes explained, right? So one of the experts will come on board. I'll come on the screen. He'll come on the screen, and we kind of tell you this is because of your attentional blindness, or this is because your lateral prefrontal cortex goes crisscross. Like
your problem.
That's always been your problem. That's why I can't putt.
Exactly.
Lateral prefrontal cortex.
It's about making the brain accessible.
It sounds fascinating. I'm hooked. I was hooked from the very first promo.
Good.
So way to
Excellent.
go.
Yeah.
Nice to see you.
Thank you so much.
Apollo, good to see you.
Well,
everything's in
excellent.
everything.